Hey everyone, welcome back to Pretending with Dice. As always, I'm your host and game master, AJ. I haven't got any announcements for you all this episode, so let's get into a quick recap of what led our characters to this point. After investigating a man in the Erevale village jail who had tried to break into the temple, our heroes determined that he had been forced by magic to try and steal the temple's valuable relic, a spell focus which had belonged to the wizard Malar. Fearing that the perpetrators would try again to take the focus, the group stood watch and were faced by 3 hooded cultists, one of whom managed to escape with the relic. Interrogating the other survivor of the fight, they learned that the relic was likely being taken to the lost tomb of Grazak, rumoured to be somewhere at the foot of the Drakeseat Mountains, some 3 days' travel away. Setting out in pursuit of the relic, they found themselves caught in a ferocious storm and took shelter in the ruins of an ancient elven tower. While sleeping, Bork and Pronce found themselves sharing a strange dream and awoke to find that they were not the only ones, the tower being home to a mysterious reptilian creature with the power to feed on the dreams of people around it. A fight ensued and the group nearly killed the creature before apologising for invading its home and setting off once again into the forest as the storm finally abated. That's where we left off at the end of the last episode, so let's get back into the story. So, after travelling a little while later, you do actually, despite your protestations, start to feel a little tired. So you set up camp in the shade of a couple of large trees. Get a few extra hours sleep in. You were riding quite late into the night before you stopped at the tower, and you're woken up the next day by the sound of birds chirping and the sight of a bright blue sky and sun shining above you. So, yeah.
The glorious day.
Glorious day.
Glorious day.
Another great day.
After the cock-up of last night.
Yeah.
Let's forget that happened. I'm just talking to myself these days.
They're still asleep. And they just sat there. What are you doing?
I'm not sat there. I'm probably like up a tree or something.
You're looking at me talking to myself.
And Pronce wakes up to the sound of all of this and kind of looks around.
Rubbish night. It's crazy.
Goes back, as usual, goes to the pork pocket, grabs a little morsel. And,
it's starting to be a little rancid now.
I just feel like you should be dead by now.
Once again, Pronce is just going for it regardless. Do I need to take a Constitution save?
Yeah, it's been that pork's been in there unrefrigerated for a good 18 hours.
Okie doke. So
should have cast a cold spell on it.
I got 11 plus 3, 14.
14. It doesn't taste that great. You're not feeling ill from it, but
it's souring.
Yeah, it doesn't taste good.
You should give that
Pronce kind
pork
of like
a wash.
He sits up, like that's woken him up, and sort of like grasps at his tongue with his fingers, like trying to scrape the taste off of it.
Yeah.
and then sort of looks down towards his pocket and like has a look in his face of contemplation, like I'm gonna have to do something about that. And then looks at the other guys and says, "Oh, morning."
Hey, Pronce.
I'm just going to ignore them.
You're just going to ignore them?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're hopping up and sort of looking off towards the direction that we were headed in, I guess.
Yeah.
I look at him and was like, are we all ready to get going again?
I guess so. Enothe seems to have just disappeared as always, but whatever.
He's around here somewhere, I've got faith.
I'm ready to go. It was a much better night's sleep. No nightmares?
No, not this time. Just
Good.
a lovely dream about a certain type of animal.
Oh.
Was it the Bork man to... I've come back.
Just... No, it wasn't about Bork. And then there's a shifty look in Pronce's eyes where it might have been about Bork.
Aim to please.
And then quickly Pronce is like, that way, right? And tries to encourage everybody, like, we're going, right?
So you turn into an anime girl at this point?
Ish.
Didn't say I liked you, stupid.
I'm not telling you what the dream was.
You keep it to yourself. It's fine. Yeah.
I've kind of sensed the weirdness there, so I have picked up my bags and I'm going to start walking just to.
Sure. It's not particularly great riding terrain, so you guys find yourself leading the ponies through the trees mostly. So after about an hour or so's travel, you begin to smell the scent of smoke somewhere on the wind.
Is it the fabled ash tree?
You wouldn't know about that.
The smoke of the ash.
No, it smells like burning wood.
That's what she said.
Pronce's eyebrows again just prick up like fire.
Yeah, I mean you know the smell of fire.
Yeah, and looks at the other two like fire. There's fire. Well, he's really, really into like the prospect of this.
I take a sidestep and let him lead the way.
Yeah.
Pronce picks up double pace towards the source of the
Sure,
smell.
make a perception check. See if you can determine where it's coming from.
I thought you were going to check if you can do a double step.
4, 11.
11. It takes you a little bit of searching, but you do think you're on the right trail. And
Can we see through the tree line any amount of smoke or any hint of where this might be?
Eventually, yes. And after about 10 minutes travel, you find yourselves in a little bit of a kind of open glade of trees, but they've been burned. It's a sort of burnt area, and it's not still on fire. It's been put out, and very quickly you notice sort of stood a little ways to your left a figure with a staff who looks a little bit distraught.
Upon arriving and finding a lack of fire, Pronce, his shoulders shrug. No fire.
Pronce, what did you do?
It wasn't me.
Usually, if there's fire, I believe the saying is, where there's smoke, there's Pronce.
And furrowing his brow, Pronce launches a firebolt towards an already burnt bit.
No, damn it.
Okay. I mean, make an attack roll to see if you hit the tree, I guess.
17 plus 5, so yeah.
You hit this tree and just.
You say I'm hitting that.
What are you doing?
Fire!
From your left, you hear echoing Enothe, this shouting voice going, No! What are you doing? Don't set fire to the trees. Who are you people?
It's the anti-Pronce.
Taken aback, Pronce kind of looks at him like, I like fire, what can I tell you?
Not in the woods, though. Don't set fire in the woods. What are you, some kind of crazy madman?
But the woods are the best place for the fire.
The woods are the worst place for the fire. If you want to set fire, do it on a boat.
There's so much fire in the woods, and Pronce fires another firebolt.
Don't do that.
He just launched one at.
He raises his staff, and suddenly vines shoot from the ground and grab hold of you, pulling your arms off of your staff, and you drop it to the floor. No more fire.
Pronce is like, his fingers are wiggling, like he really wants to set a fire, but no, it's being denied, and he's going to continue to struggle while this is.
Are you the idiots who set fire to this grove of trees?
We actually weren't, if you can believe that this idiot didn't do it.
I don't believe it.
That's fair.
This is the first time I've seen this fire, and I know many fires. I'd recognise this fire had I made it.
I'm sorry for my friend. He's not seen the fire in a few hours, so he just is getting fire frenzy, I think. And we didn't start these fires.
Okay.
It was always burning.
To the worst stops turning.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
God damn it.
We didn't start the fire.
Yeah, that was the joke.
I'm just reiterating. We didn't start the fire. Please believe us.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
But we really didn't.
20.
As a natural 20.
Fuck.
Okay. He kind of
falls in love with
he lowers his staff, and the vines kind of let go of your arms.
Well, if you didn't stay, obviously you wouldn't know where Feathers is either. Oh, well, this is most unpleasant.
Who are you looking for?
Feathers.
Feathers?
My darling Feathers.
Who or what is Feathers? It's a bird, isn't it?
Creature in my care.
Now that you get a good look at him, he appears to be a human. You put him middle-aged, so it's tough to tell because he's obviously been living outdoors. Pretty unkempt looking, sort of naturey coloured robes he's wearing, and there's lots of leaves and stuff just kind of stuck to him and twigs coming out of his hair. He looks pretty crazy.
Is it fair to think that this man is a druid?
You could make that assumption.
Okay, so Pronce, his arm's now free, kind of like grabs his wrists and
Calm your
like
shit.
rubbing it and stuff. And it's like, well, I told you I didn't set the fire. And he looks at him in a way where it's like he's trying to gauge: is this guy going to give him the time of day, based on the fact that I have just launched 2 firebolts?
I mean, it didn't help matters, but Bork was pretty convincing.
Okay.
The ever charismatic bottle addict.
Yeah.
Pronce just kind of leans down to Bork and says to him, like, "You should probably take the lead on this one. I'm feeling," and then he takes a big. I'm feeling a little fiery.
Fiery, huh? Please don't be fiery, Pronce.
Okay.
Not right now.
And he kind of like he's grasping his staff in a way. It's like he's really holding back.
Just holding.
Like, it's like a junkie that needs a fix. Like he's really.
I know the feel.
So what's your name?
Me? I'm Vegan.
Vegan?
Yes, I'm Vegan. The Druid. I live in these parts.
I knew it was coming.
Are you actually vegan?
Yes, is my name.
I mean, a lot of people claim to be vegan, but
I'm the only true Vegan.
okay, I'll believe you.
Seeing that we're now in kind of diplomatic territory, and as much as he's just said this to Bork, Pronce recognises a familiar opportunity and reaches into the pork pocket.
Pronce, don't you fucking dare.
He's already got his hand out in front of him with the pork, gesturing like, "Oh, could I offer you some pork, sir?"
Pork?
No?
Eating animals.
You'll have to forgive me.
Animals are our friends.
Agreed. My friend's an idiot. Just ignore him.
I will have to.
I tend to do the
To be
same.
fair, the pork.
Do you want to trade?
Green now anyway.
Yeah, recognising that this has been rejected, Pronce kind of like looking at the pork that's in his hand for the first time. Like he's not looked at it at any given moment when he's eaten it. He's now realising quite what is in his pocket, and instead of putting it back, brushes it off and wipes his hand on some grass on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take it back. I'm very sorry about that. I may have misjudged my porking,
You can't just pork everyone we meet.
but it's worked so many times. Everybody loves a bit of Pronce pork.
So what happened here? Obviously there was a fire. Do you know when it started?
No, I was staying in this part of the woods and looking after Feathers, of course, and I smelled the smoke and I came back and it was like this. Feathers was missing.
Surveying the area, is it worth like the charred remains of the trees? Can we tell if they're like smouldering?
You can, you can investigate
literally
if you like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we investigate?
Well,
Yeah.
Pronce, find out when the fire was started.
Just sort of like a bloodhound, like moving forward.
Have you got a scent boy?
through burnt things? Pronce is it's stronger over here.
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check.
Oh dear. 5 plus 5, 10.
10. Okay, I mean, nothing is still on fire, but you do think that you've maybe found the general area where the fire started.
It's a much more charred area, maybe.
This is the epicenter, gentlemen. And he gets right down on the ground, right into the kind of charred remains, like takes the deepest huff that he possibly can, to the point that
Snorts a charred twig.
the tip of his nose is black when he comes back up.
Okay. What are you looking for specifically?
He wasn't looking for anything there. That was literally just relishing the fact that I found the center of the fire
Sure.
and looking around. Still warm?
Is it still?
You tell
Yeah,
me.
there's still kind of. It's still sort of. It's obviously recent, but there's nothing still burning. It's just kind of. There's a lot of burnt trees and things.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence of like burnt feathers? He keeps saying feathers, so Pronce is looking for feathers.
Make another investigation check now that you're looking for something specific.
17 this
All
time.
good.
Plus 5, so 22.
I mean, it's quite a large area of trees that's actually been burned, really. And you do find what looks like a couple of sort of burnt birds' nests. But you see Vagan has also noticed them, and he seems to have discounted that. That's not what he meant by feathers. But other than that, no, there's nothing that really seems along those lines that's been...
Well, I can't see any trace of any feathers around here, short of these little birds, and... Well, that's just a tragedy, isn't it, Vagan?
No, they will be missed by nature.
And solemnly, Pronce nods, like... He's really trying to fit in, and he's doing the whole, like, I recognise your customs deal again. Like, yes, nature will surely mourn its loss.
Vegan, are we near any kind of local groups of villagers or travellers that have been around that may have started this, that you think might have been the cause?
No, we're quite away from any towns of peoples, but there are creatures and fiends that live in the forest that I suppose may have been behind this.
Can you use your magic to find any of them? Or to at least find a trace of where this has started?
Well, that's what you said, it had started here.
Yes, but can you figure out any more than that, or is this all we have? I want to help you find feathers, but you need to help us as well.
Oh, well, now you mention it, I suppose I could see what the other woodland creatures have seen.
He whistles this long, sort of drawn out kind of
What does it sound like?
And a couple of seconds later, a small bird flies down and lands on his finger.
That's the dream.
Yeah. You see a soft green glow emerge around him, and you can still understand him, but he's speaking softly to the bird. You hear him to say, "Right, Jeremy, what did you see?" "Yes? Oh no, not them. Oh, they took feathers. Which way? Oh, that's not good. Okay, thank you, my friend." And the bird flies off.
As the bird is just taking off, Pronce, having seen this technique he's just done, but not really grasping that it may have been magical, holds out a hand and goes and begins whistling.
Make an animal handling check.
Oh, I hope a bird craps on your finger.
3 + 2, 5.
Nothing comes and lands on
The
your
bird shits
finger.
on you.
You can't fathom how he got this bird to do this at all.
Eagle
Pronce
picks him up.
is now transfixed on his own hand,
Suddenly a dragon.
waiting like something's going to happen, while these guys are kind of paying attention to
Okay.
what Vagan might
Yeah,
be talking about.
nothing's really happening, but yeah, what would the two of you?
So what did he tell you?
A group of those fiendish gnolls came through here, took feathers and set fire to our little abode.
Where did the gnolls come from?
Off to the west, they have a little small encampment, apparently, defiling the forest with their presence.
Would you like to go take them out?
Well,
Not to dinner.
of course not. You don't dine with a gnoll.
You might do.
Well, I'll leave that to you. But,
Nah, it seems like Pronce's deal.
yes, it does.
And Pronce, hearing his name, it looks away from his hand for a second, like, what? And then goes straight back to looking at the hand like he really expects that bird to turn up.
Well, I do need to get feathers back, and any help you could provide would be much appreciated.
Always happy to shoot things in the head.
Well, that's a bit blunt, but
I'm a bit blunt. But my arrows
He really
aren't,
is.
and that's the important thing.
well, okay. Let's get going. I think. I should have asked exactly how far west. Well, I suppose we could look for tracks and things, but yes.
He sort of doesn't get down on hands and knees, but he sort of starts checking out the surrounding things. For some time, he says, "Well, I can't see any tracks at all. You elf man, have you got any specific experience with tracking?"
I can give it a bash.
Yeah, make a survival check. I'm guessing not.
It's a strong 10.
Strong 10. Okay.
Bork, what do your halfling eyes see? You're closer to the ground.
Oh, why I oughta. 3. It's about the same as my height.
Okay, after a few minutes of searching, though, Enothe, you do seem to find some tracks leading away to the west. They're faint, but just about there.
Okay, I found some tracks. We should follow these.
Pronce, you've been standing there now for about 5-10 minutes with your arm outstretched.
His arm's shaking, like it's aching now. The lactose is built up. It's quite painful, but he's got a look in his eyes of like, where's the bird? I did it like just like he did, and then looks over at you guys, like kind of wandering off down a path. I suppose, looking at these trails and realizes, oh, I should probably go and join them. And
I'm just going to yell back, Pronce, here, boy.
Pronce takes a second to think about that charm person spell that he's got in his pocket, and then thinks about the times that he and Enothe have butted heads, and considers as he wanders over, arms still outstretched but kind of slowly drooping as he gets close to the group, like, okay, I guess I'm not going to have that bird.
The thing about charm person as well is that, like, the target knows they've been charmed after it wears off.
Let's not get into that route. AJ doesn't want us going down that route.
Please don't go PvP. Okay.
We'll see.
So, you actually do spend a little bit of time wandering through the woods.
We're heading west when we really prefer to have been heading northeast, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but he might know more about the forest.
True.
Yeah.
It makes sense to help him out.
Sure.
I mean, apart from like how kind of out of sorts he was when you found him, he seems fairly pleasant company as you're walking.
Oh yeah, no
through the
doubt.
woods.
Yeah, just.
It's a nice change. He's a nice change to have a wizard that isn't setting everything on fire at the very least.
He's a druid, but yeah,
Dude in a robe.
it's a different class.
All the same to me.
It's another one of those potato tomato things.
You say druid, I say vegan.
So after a couple of hours of travel, I mean, you sort of make idle conversation, but he seems fairly intent on tracking down feathers.
Can while we're having this idle conversation, can I inquire further as to what feathers is?
Sure. How are you phrasing it? Are you?
Pronce is going to make an allusion to the bird's nest and say, well, you didn't seem at all interested in those bird's nests, and feathers leads me to the conclusion that this is a bird we're chasing, but if you
Feathers is a little larger than your regular woodland bird.
Oh really?
Would you say is half something else as well?
No, feathers is all one thing.
Okay.
Could you just, like... I know enough about the nature and lay of this land and the creatures that reside here. What is it? I'm just curious, sir.
It's a young creature of well, it's very special to me.
Pronce, why don't you leave the surprise? I'm pretty sure you'll be happy when we get there.
But I'm curious.
He doesn't want to tell us.
You are curious. No one's going to doubt that.
Okay, then.
No. I mean, you don't seem like a very well acquainted man with the ways of the forest, wanting to set fire to them. Such.
He's not well acquainted with anything.
Can I attempt some? I've got a pretty decent knowledge of nature right here.
Sure, yeah.
Grasping at things.
I'd like to shame this guy for telling me.
Yeah, totally. Go for it.
I don't know about nature. Let's see about that. I know 18 about nature.
So what are you actually saying to try and...
I'm going to point at each of the plants as we pass by and be like, and that's that, and that's that, and that's that. See who knows about nature. You're going to talk to me about nature? I know all about nature. Tell me about nature. What are you going to tell me about nature? You don't know nothing about
Pronce,
nature.
shut up.
And he shoots Enothe a look like, I know about nature.
I'm not saying you don't. It's okay, buddy. I didn't even realise you had an ego.
About nature.
About anything.
That kind of shocks
fire.
Pronce into a moment of contemplation, like, do I? No, I don't care about nature. All right, well, actually, fair enough. So that animal.
I like that conflict was fixed right then and there.
Just getting back to where we were. So, tell me, what's the bloody animal? Have I not proven myself at this point?
This is a rare creature of special.
You're not going to force me to tell you all about the things I know.
No, I'm trying to think
I know.
I'm trying to think how to phrase it.
I suppose you may have heard of it if you you know what a sycamore tree is. I mean, who doesn't? But have you ever heard of an owl bear?
Yes, and I kind of look at the guys like, owl bear. Double pace now. The conversation is over. Pronce is going double pace.
Well, Feathers is only a young one. But he's very special.
If there's any faster Pronce can go, he's now going that little bit faster.
Very well. Okay, so you guys travel again for about another 45 minutes or so, and you come across a large fallen log, and Vagan motions you down behind it, and whispered to her, says,
"Right, okay. I think that the gnolls were around this area somewhere. So we'll just peek over this log and see if we can see any sign of them."
Does anyone want to stick their head up first? Or?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Eyes fall on, and I say, I think at that point.
Do I have to roll for anything?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay. Can I go into stealth first?
Sure. Yeah.
19 for stealth.
Okay, so you're being pretty like careful and yeah.
And then perception. It's a strong 5.
So 5. Okay, so very gingerly and making sure not to knock any bark or anything off the log.
I am the log.
You raise your head up to the other side of the log. Directly in front of you, about 1.5 foot away, is the back of a gnoll's head. You seem to be right in their encampment. You don't bet. Vagan says,
"Did you see anything?"
Shh. They are right there.
Right there?
Shh. Right there.
Did you see Feathers?
I didn't. I saw the back of a gnoll's head.
Well, that doesn't sound like Feathers.
I can tell you how many hairs he had on his head.
Well, that might be useful. How many did he have?
That's not useful. You really need to get your priorities straight.
Well, if you say so, Mr. Elfman.
Recognising that we could do with a bit more scouting, Pronce looks at the others and sees Apollonia floating. She's been in the background for the entire time. My spectral dove just kind of knocking about. I look at the others and if you cover me, I'll get a better look.
sure.
Then I go into my little trance-like state, and as Apollonia, fly over the encampment and get a better view of things.
Okay, so going into Apollonia's, you go to like eagle vision.
That's the sound doves make, right?
Didn't we decide what the sound was when doves cry at some point?
I think we did.
I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was though. So your vision zooms out, and you can see yourself, Enothe, Bork, and Vagan crouched down on one side of this. I say log. It's kind of a fallen tree, and it's about 5 foot tall. So like
It's a big tree.
Yeah, it's a big tree, but enough that when you stood up, you know, yeah. Directly on the other side of the tree, there's a knoll lent there. They've got kind of like a sort of nastily kind of dug pit in front of them. That you can see what looks like a young owlbear in the pit that's been tied up. There's, as far as you can see, 3 other gnolls just sort of looking in the pit and kind of growling a little bit. And a larger gnoll is relieving himself on a tree on the other side of the clearing.
So there's 5 of them total?
5 of them, one of them a bit larger than the others.
And are there any buildings like huts or anything?
No, this just appears to be in sort of a small clearing.
So we've just got a pit with the owlbear in it and the 5 of them. So going back in, coming out of Apollonia back into the body, I relay that information to the rest of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make a suggestion that we attempt to stealthily kill the one that's very close to us. And again, eyes fall on Enothe, and I'm kind of like, you like sneaking about in the shadows? You should go and get that one that's close and drag him back here with us.
So what, I just reach over and then attack with my hidden blade and drag him back over the log?
Kind of what I'm thinking. You've got a dagger, right?
I don't think I've ever used my sword. There's 5 of them. There's 4 of us. We've actually got an extra party member. Assuming he'd be willing to fight. Vagan, how willing to help us take down the gnolls, are you?
Well, I need to get feathers back.
Good answer.
Are you a capable fighter?
He stopped you casting spells before you did.
And I shoot him a look again. Like, I've shot him so many looks, but this one's different. This one's sharp. It's not the point here. Like, I want to know what he's capable of.
Well, you sometimes need to have your wits about you in the woods. Yes.
Perhaps we should brace ourselves and prepare for this to all kick off as soon as... If you create any kind of noise when you grab this gnoll, maybe we're going to have to go. So, looking around at the rest of the group... Oh, I see us from
Bork's he's getting ready.
Bork is in crane position.
Is there any cover nearby
You may
that
take
might
this
be
on
worth like
permanently.
spreading out to? Like,
I leaped a log before.
It
I
would
can
be
do
pretty
again.
tricky to get there secretly. I mean, it's a miracle that you guys managed to kind of accidentally stumble into a really stealthy kind of sneak up.
we
as it
came at
was.
the right angle.
Yeah.
I am the log.
Okay. Holding a fist up in a kind of like hold kind of like thing. Pronce is looking around at the others and then looks at Enothe and drops the fist like, go, go, go!
I do nothing.
He holds up his other hand and does exactly the same thing a second time. Like, it was the hand that was the wrong one, right? You wanted the left hand.
What are you doing? This is not the time for this.
I hold up both hands and pump them at the same time.
Oh, whatever. As he does it, as he drops it the second time, I knock an arrow, stand up, and attempt to take aim at the back of the gnoll's head.
Sure, okay. I'll give you advantage on this, and you got sneak attack because he doesn't know you're there.
So I get like 19 rolls.
miss
And
Well, you get advantage anyway because you're hidden. So
Shame if you missed this.
so that's 20 in total on the first one,
okay. Well, then you might get a natural 20.
and 7.
So yeah, you hit on the first one. So damage and sneak attack damage. Then.
So damage is 10 plus the 2d6 is 1, so it's 11. So it's 14 in total.
14 total. Okay. Are you meant to crit automatically when you're?
Yeah, assassinate. Advantage on creatures who haven't taken a turn yet in combat.
Yeah.
Crits on any on a surprise. Crits on any hit on a surprise creature.
And this is a surprise round. So
Yeah, so it would have been 14, so it would have been 17 plus the 4. It should have been 21.
21.
I
Double
got-
everything on the dice.
Yeah. Oh, everything, including the sneak attack.
Everything on dice. The only thing you don't double is the plus.
Oh.
You know,
So it was 14, so it should have been
28.
yeah, something like that. No, it should have been 24. Because it was 11, it would have been 11 on the dice plus the 3. Because I rolled a 7, a 1 and a 3.
Oh, okay, right, yeah, I follow. Yeah.
So it should
So I
have
didn't realise when you added the 3 in on that because you were
So,
like
yeah.
10. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, so yeah, 25.
25. Okay.
Welcome
so
to math time.
welcome to Math and Dragons.
No, 24. I am right because it's plus 3. So yeah, 24.
Okay, so I'm going to describe this from like the perspective of one of the gnolls on the other side. So looking down into the pit, kind of like laughing a little bit and kind of looking at the owl and kind of poking at it with the end of its spear, kind of looks up at his friend who's leaning on the log, who kind of growls, and then this arrow just comes out the front of its forehead and it just sort of falls forward.
As soon as I've got confirmation that the arrow's connected in any way, I'm going to duck straight back behind the log.
Make a
Stealth
check.
That's 20 in total.
20 total. Okay. You guys aren't really doing anything in the surprise round, are you? You're just kind of you were letting him kick things off, or unless we can still
I
call
wasn't
this.
planning on hopping out or anything.
Or you can. I'll let you guys have surprise.
You could also leap up and just.
I was gonna
You
say,
could chuck
I-
your hand axe if you wanted.
Yeah, I felt
or you
like
could.
you
yeah.
were talking about 5 of them, 4 of us,
Well, now there's 4 of them.
and now there's
And
4 of
us.
them.
See if you can make it.
It could be a clean sweep,
Okay, less of them, yeah.
and
Boomerang your
I might
hand
have the
axe
roll on
around
me.
it.
Seeing the good roll of Enothe, I'm gonna
the good word of anything.
good word of Enothe. I feel that spirit, and I'm gonna.
Can you feel it?
I can feel it. Home now. I'm gonna make a quick dart to not fully over the kind of fallen tree, but
Just kind of up onto it.
up enough to get a good quick glance and throw the axe all in one.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Make an attack roll for the
Yep.
hand axe.
Such as my rolling 15,
You got a plus.
but I got a +5
Plus
on the
5,
hand
so
axe.
20.
So that's a solid 20
Yeah, that's a hit.
to 5.
5. Okay. So yeah, you crack one in the shoulder. It's like,
I love it when I start combat by just fucking straight out murder.
Yeah, I mean that's what rogues are for, is to be like, right, we're going to catch these guys by surprise. I could probably take one out before we start. That's kind of your deal. Okay, are you doing anything, Pronce?
You should just do the old classic Pronce elevator. Just for that.
Yeah, I guess this is the time for it.
Elevator up, firewall, elevator down.
Yeah.
So just like head popping up over the log. Like I'm doing this like having just seen these guys do their thing and kind of like I should do something. And he hops up and launches a fireball because that's the only thing that comes to mind in that.
Okay, who are you firing at? There's
whatever the closest knoll is. That's what I'm firing at.
There's 3 that are still kind of around the pit, and then there's the larger one on the other side, which is a little bit further away, about 40 feet from you.
Okay, the closest one, whichever one. If it's the one that
it's the one that Bork
then
hand axed. Let's say.
So
Doesn't matter.
And I have 11 plus 5, 16.
16 is a hit.
That's 1d10. Oh, 2.
2? Okay.
on an injured one, though. That might
Not great, I mean, but it's a hit.
Is Vagan getting involved?
He's getting involved.
What attack is Vagan using? I'm super hyped about this.
I'll tell you in a minute.
He gets the barrel.
Okay, so Vagan also pops up and sort of muttering some... It sounds different to the type of spells that you use, which is it's a different type of magic kind of thing. This is more kind of in line with nature and things. Kind of points to a sort of arc of ground on the other side of the pit, which 2 of the knolls are still stood in, and again it's sort of shimmering, kind of like almost like like a heat mirage kind of thing, where it's sort of too hot. It sort of looks like that, but in the terrain a little bit, and he sort of smirks. Yeah, that'll show them, and then pops back down again. So at this point, we're going to all roll initiative.
I got 19.
10.
10.
You both got 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, don't roll again. Just decide which one of you wants to go first.
After you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right then. So top of the order, Enothe, you get another go.
Sweet.
So what would you like to do?
I'm going to pop up from behind the log again.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to see that there's the one who's a little scorched and has an axe mark in his shoulder, and I'm not going to shoot him. I aim across the way at the largest one.
Yeah. Okay. That's not a bad plan.
We've got 18.
18. 18 hits.
He hasn't had a turn, so I crit as well, don't I?
That's true. Yeah.
It's 24 again.
24 damage.
Yep.
It's a pretty good hit. It's a bit larger though.
Yeah, I expected him not to die.
Yeah. Are you moving at all? At the moment, you're all just stood behind a log.
I'm going to
in
move.
a line.
I'm going to move behind the. I'm going to move as far as I can while remaining in cover.
Well, whichever way you go, you're going to have to break out from behind them.
No, I understand. But I'm going to move from that cover into a different cover, basically.
You could probably make it across to a tree.
Yeah, I'll make it to a tree, and then I'll bonus action.
High
Min
bonus
max.
selection.
bonus action min max.
Yeah.
Strong 1.
Strong 1.
Plus 5 is 6.
6, but I think it's still a 1, really.
Oh no!
Critical fail.
So you're just not particularly well hidden. We haven't really been doing the crit fail thing.
My cloak's billowing out behind the tree.
Yeah, you're still like particularly. You're still pretty visible.
I can't live if I'm not in hiding.
Okay, Bork, what would you like to do?
So at this point, the gnolls are aware of the attack,
Yeah.
but not so aware of the actual location of where it's coming from yet.
No, they know where you are.
They do know. Okay. I'm just thinking about the movement or whether to stay by the tree. Can I just go down to one end of this tree, the fallen tree? How much of it's fallen?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can do.
Okay, and
No charging in or anything.
no charging in, no.
Okay.
Just because we're all kind of started from behind that tree just yet.
Yeah.
And I've lost my hand axe, so I threw it.
Yeah.
I want to go crazy because I'm rolling all right, but you know what? Let's save it for now. I'm just going to move as a direction move. It's just going to get to that end of the tree, and maybe actually can I look around and just try and work out location-wise where I am or where the gnolls are compared to.
I mean, yeah, you got a good look at them. They haven't moved
They
yet
haven't
at all.
moved yet.
There's one kind of this side of the pit, two the other side that are kind of right by the pit, and then the large one on the other side of the clearing.
I think it's a bit much for me to come running out with longsword just for now.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm not gonna get very far. Run out on my own.
You could get to the nearest one if you wanted to.
Fuck him up.
Yeah.
Do it.
And you've got your action surge again because you've rested.
This is true. It doesn't take a lot to get me to roll again, and I'm gonna do it. The crowd roars.
Seeing like a fire in Bork's eyes, Pronce like gives him a nod, like yes. Go.
Okay, coming around the corner.
Okay, so you
Going
run
for
it
the
right to the
closest
nearest
one.
one. Yeah, okay.
Hack and slash at his legs. 17.
Plus 5.
Plus
That's a
5.
hit. Yep. This is the one that you've already hand axed and burned.
Yeah, he's still a bit scorchy.
Yeah. Scorchio.
Okay. Roll an 8 plus 3. Yeah, the wrong sword.
Yeah, yeah.
3, 6.
6. It's not bad. It's a hit.
Alright.
Cool.
I am out in the open, people.
You've got your action surge if you want to. Fuck his day up.
How wounded is you at this point? How close to death?
How's he looking?
He's still on his feet. He's not looking great, but he's not about to fall.
Well, let's make him fall. Let's go for an action surge.
Yeah. Oh, what am I doing?
You're living the dream,
Gonna
Bork.
risk it for a bit.
Hitting him again.
15 plus 5.
That's
20.
a hit. Yep.
6 plus 3, 9.
Okay, so yeah, you fucked him up. How do you want to kill him? He's a little bit taller than you.
He's a little bit taller.
Okay, they're about 5-6 foot.
About 5-6 foot.
So they're about the same. He's about the same height as Pronce.
So I've come flying in, gone for the slash across the leg.
Yep.
He is hopefully kind of
Yeah.
going down to it, spinning round. I'm going longsword just straight up through his jaw into the top of his head.
Nice.
Slick, just a full
Yeah,
spin
and he kind of freezes and
full
he
Gurgle.
Yeah.
Gurgle fall.
Yeah, blood splattering down on me.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah,
It's pretty sweet.
sweet.
Good job.
He falls to the ground and I use his body as cover. I put 2 red-blooded stains across my cheeks, and I come up a new
Bork
man.
Dawn. Okay, that's a good turn.
Thank you very much.
Pronce, what would you like to do?
Okay, right. I'm gonna hop back up and like seeing this devastation. I was like, yes. And then I can see the 2 that are on the other side of the pit. How close together are they?
They're about 10 feet from each other.
How big is the flaming sphere spell that I've got?
Good question. Remember, you can't drop it.
I can
people.
Make it appear, and then once it's there, I can move it if memory serves.
A 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in an unoccupied space of your choice within range, lasts for duration, which is concentration up to a minute. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere, so you could put it between the 2 of them, which would damage both of them at the end of their turn.
That's what I was thinking. My move at the end of their turn. Though,
Yeah.
So they have to end their turn within 5 feet of it.
So basically in an adjacent space.
But they're going to move, right?
I was going to say, if I plonk it down,
I mean, yeah,
then
if you
the
put
first
a
thing they're
sphere-
going to do is scatter off.
Yeah, pretty
That's
much.
obviously. Okay, then, well, forget that then. We're going to... how much space does Greece fill up?
I feel like Vegan's not going to like you very much, but a 10-foot square, so basically
Okay, so I
2
can
by
douse
2.
both of them.
No,
very
you could get
edges.
one of them and because the way I'm thinking in squares and like they'll take up a square, then which is 5 foot by 5 foot.
Oh, okay, so the 2
then there's a
squares
5 foot by
It's
5 foot.
15
Then
foot.
I
yeah,
see. Okay. Fine.
There is one with an arrow.
I'm not trying to shoot down all your plans. It's just
I'm just
yeah.
figuring it out. Having gauged all of these things and Pronce knowing his spells like he does, he didn't have to ask these questions. He launches a chromatic orb at the big one that's already been injured.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Chromatic orb. Oh,
well, it's a 2 to hit. So
yeah. I mean, you're not going to. No, that's not going to hit. Yeah. You missed.
Fire.
So. Well, obviously.
it was definitely fire.
Okay, so
Pronce says to himself, fire.
Pronce is not helping today.
the 4-inch diameter sphere of energy, which you imbue with fire, flies off into the woods. Vigan looks at you like, what the fuck, bro?
That's how I roll.
Badly.
Tonight it is.
You know I'm gonna have to go deal with that later.
Pronce shrugs. In using his extra turn, he gives a very hefty shrug, like,
Extra action.
fire gonna fire.
Shrug.
What you gonna do?
Don't do it in the forest.
So now it's Vigan's turn. He is going to cast Entangle on the large one. Alright, so this is what he cast on you earlier. Grasping weeds and vines sprout for the ground in a 20-foot square all around the large guy, turning the ground into difficult terrain. A creature in the area when he casts a spell must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained until the spell ends. Can use an action to make another strength check to try and break free. So yeah, it's not entangled, unfortunately, but it is difficult terrain, so its speed is halved and 20 feet around it. So yeah. Okay, now we're onto that one. So he's going to spend his turn. He's going to take a step towards you guys, realise that things are a little bit difficult to move, and he's going to pull out a short bow from kind of on his back and take a shot at...
The vines haven't encompassed his upper...
He didn't get restrained. No, that was what the strength saving throw was, just to see if he's held in place, and he's not. It's just difficult to move through him.
Shin height vines
Yeah.
that are just
Yeah,
scraping.
it slows him to half speed while he's in the square, basically. So.
Okay.
So he's going to take a shot at you, Bork, because he just seen you fuck up his buddy. So I'm
Bring
gonna,
it.
I'm going to bring it.
Try.
It's a 14 to hit, which is not going to hit you.
Because your armor class is 10.
He's only a little dude.
So yeah, he misses. So that's kind of his go, because he tried to move, couldn't really get very far, and then shot at you.
I saw that arrow go past, and
Yeah,
I
you're
give
like,
him the eye,
First blood!
and I'm just locking eyes on him,
Through the whole,
like really.
Robert
like,
De Niro in Meet the Parents, sort of.
I will fuck you up.
Yeah. You're really on a rampage recently.
Nothing can stop the ball.
They drew first blood.
Okay, so the two on the other side go to move around the pit to come towards you without realising that the ground underneath them had been subtly changed by Vigan. So they are each, they take 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet that they travel. Now it's a 20-foot radius, so they're going to move through 10 feet each. So I need to do 4d4 damage to each of them.
Began laying down the
nature-based smackdown.
Yeah.
I'll just roll for both of them. And they take 12 points of damage each, just from the spikes in the ground.
Nice.
Spike growth, man.
Strong.
Good move.
So they're going to move out, and one of them's going to make it to you, Bork, and yeah, it's going to take a swing at you with a. He's got kind of a spear. He's just going to jab at you. That's a natural one. So
Punch himself in the foot.
yeah.
Nice shot, bro.
So we're back up to top of the order then. Anyway, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna shoot the big one again.
Yeah, you're not hidden.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So you don't get sneak attack damage.
I did roll 23 in total though. So
That's a hit.
Pretty sure I hit. Which is a strong 11 in total.
11. That's pretty good.
Is this motherfucker not dead?
Big dude.
Shot him twice. Really, really hard.
Yeah.
Fine.
Big dude.
I'm a hide again. So 11 stealth roll.
That's a hide again. Yeah.
I'm gonna move behind a different tree as well.
Okay. It's like broad daylight. Like you're just running from.
I am the daylight.
Just running from tree to tree. Okay. Bork then. So you have one guy in combat with you.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
Pulling the sword from the skull of my dead
Fallen enemy.
Is he still? He's entangled and he's quite wounded.
This guy's not entangled.
No,
this is the dude,
this
isn't it?
is one of the guys
This is
who
the one
came
that
out from behind the pit, got damage getting out of there, but then got into combat with you.
Okay.
The other one's kind of hanging back a bit, and,
All right.
and the guy who's entangled is a bit further back again.
Okay. Well,
With 2 arrows
let's keep on the old roll with the longsword.
Keep on, keeping on.
Keep it on with the longsword.
Seems to be working for you.
Alright.
Oh, 7. Okay.
Plus 5.
Plus 5.
So 12. No, that is a miss, I'm afraid.
I mean, he missed me. I missed him. Okay.
Yeah.
Accidents happen in battle.
Yeah.
Hold your sword up to the air and just shout no.
Never again.
What in the heck?
Yeah. You can move away, but you'll get an attack of opportunity against you.
No, I'm going to stay.
Just going to stay in
I'm going
combat.
to stay.
Yeah.
What is your armor class?
19.
Out of all of us, he's the one that can take a bit of a beat.
I have to roll 19 or better to hit.
Yeah, that's pretty
so
bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a
Pretty
fighting
kitted up.
machine. I got my chainmail.
Okay then. So Pronce.
Right. Seeing my friend miss, I'm going to launch a firebolt directly at the guy that he's fighting.
Okay.
Well, that's going to hit
man.
Bork.
There goes Bork.
Cheers, brew.
Oh dear. That's a 8 to hit.
That's a miss.
After this firebolt
Where did it
has
go?
sailed off into the distance,
Did it hit me?
I'm going to kind of look to Vagan and
He's
give
just
him like a "what are you going to do" shrug.
He's just looking at you, shaking his head like.
Can we not piss off the extra team member? Like, if he turns on us, we're fucked.
I've not actually set fire to anything.
That we can see.
And yeah, I guess that's it. I'm shrugging, I kind of wait for the
anyway.
next thing to happen.
Elevator back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out of sight. That's the best idea. I do the elevator down.
Out of sight.
Okay, so you watch as Vagan closes his eyes and sort of plants his staff in the ground. You see across the way the entanglement withers away and disappears over the big guy, but then suddenly the sun is blotted out by clouds appearing above you, dark clouds, and there's a huge, loud crack of thunder, and a bolt of lightning comes down on the big guy as Vagan casts Cool Lightning.
That's some powerful shit right there.
Yeah. Spells ramp pretty quickly then, don't
Yeah, there's a
they?
level 3 spells. They get ridiculous real quick. So I need to make a
would you
dex
do with
saving
fire
throw
in
for
that
the.
Wow.
See.
So the guy, the big guy passes his saving throw to slightly jump out of the way, but he's still caught by the edge of this lightning bolt. So he's going to take half damage. I now roll 3d10 damage. Get fucked.
Yeah, that's a serious spell.
6, 8, 18. So he takes half damage on that. So 9. So better than nothing, but it stays in place. So if that guy doesn't move out of the radius, he's going to keep getting struck by lightning.
So there's just a continual pillar of lightning.
It's kind of like
starting out.
it's focused on that point sort of thing, and it's just going to keep.
And he's still alive.
He's a big boy.
How big is this knoll? Is he grassy?
I've been waiting to fit that one in on myself. Well done.
He's looking pretty fucked up at this point.
Does he look like he's guilty for the murder of a predator?
Was he the only one there?
He dives away from the lightning
Not the
back
one
and
that
a little
shoots
to the
ducks
left.
on
So pissed off at this guy is going to kind of scuttle back a little way to try and get out of the range of this thing, and is going to fire another arrow, this time at Vagan. Seeing him as the source of all of this.
Gan's gonna grab it in midair.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Oh.
So Vagan.
Vagan.
So Vagan is gonna, as actually not too bad. It's gonna take 8 damage.
Okay.
I rolled a 3 on it. It's 1d8 plus 2. I rolled a 3, so yeah.
He hit perfectly, but
Okay, the guy's gonna poke at you with the spear, Bork. That's a 4, not an 18. It's a 4. So he's gonna miss. His buddy is gonna poke at you as well, though. They got spears and they're just.
Bork's just gonna stand there.
You're like an armored
Like the mask.
halfling man who's suddenly in their midst and is just killing
like-
everybody. That's a natural 1. So I'm rolling dog shit tonight. So yeah, you were just dodging everything on this. You're like,
Stop trying to hit me and hit me.
okay, now we're back at the top. Enothe, it's your go.
I'm gonna shoot the big guy again. Which is 21. Yeah, 21.
It's a hit.
4 plus the 3, although I am sneaking. I think. I mean, it's 11. I'm not sneaking. 7. We'll go for 7.
7.
Yeah, 7 damage.
Okay, so how would you like to? Where would you like the arrow to catch him?
Okay, so I'm going to aim through his right eye and then out the back of the left side of his head.
The world's most powerful bow.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So you take aim and you're like, not again, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So you let go of the arrow and it goes out through the back of his head, and he just crumples to the ground.
That fucking time.
Good job.
I'm gonna hide.
How did we not see that coming?
Thanks to the light.
A strong 7.
Strong 7. Okay.
And I'm gonna.
You try to hide.
I did try to hide. I'm actually gonna.
You hug a tree.
Yeah, just like hug a tree. I'm gonna be behind a tree. I was gonna run in if I got a decent stealth roll, and be like sneak up behind the pokey people, but
It's not happening today.
I haven't got over 9,000 armor class, so I'll die.
Okay. Fair enough. Bork, you got 2 guys attacking you now.
Okay, so 2 of them are on me.
Yep.
Okay. 14 plus 5.
Yeah, that's a
so
hit on
19.
one of them.
There goes that. 8
Nice. Plus
plus 3.
It's 11.
11.
Luckily, these guys got hit by their spikes earlier, so yeah, you fucked this guy up.
Yeah.
How do you want to kill him?
Well, with all the dodging and ducking, I've got the longsword, and I'm just helicoptering.
Nice. And
Helicoptering above my head.
this guy goes in to try and spike you, and you just like
yeah,
top of the
completely.
head. Yeah.
Just slice and dice.
Yeah. Nice.
And remembering Pronce's Hadouken call earlier, half remembering, I'm just shouting, Hadouken!
Crouch behind the tree, I hear this and
Anakin!
Hadouken!
Okay. Pronce, there's one guy left.
Okay.
Before... Go on. I was just going to say, we're down to 1 guy left. Is there any... Well, okay, Enothe's whispering already killed him. Is there any reason we should be actually trying to ask him?
No,
why
they
he
stole the
an
owlbear. Fuck them up. Steal someone's pet.
Yeah, Pronce is...
I'm quite agreeing, but I just think...
Again?
At the prospect of saving an owlbear, like, thoughts of
No, cool.
diplomacy are
Go for
definitely
it.
not in mind with Pronce here.
More than happy to see this happen. Go for it.
So, Pronce, seeing his, like, hearing Hadouken and now hopping up,
just one hit. That's all we want.
he sees what's happened and he sees, like, the sliced and diced body of this thing in front
Disemboweled.
of Bork. There's another one right next to him, there's 2 of them, and there's one more right
Blood.
next to him.
All over.
Am I within distance to be able to round the tree and join the fray?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so Pronce, with a little bit of a feeling of like, oh, it's going so well, and like with a feeling of like bloodlust, comes running around the tree and comes running directly into direct combat with the
one
remaining gnoll and pulls out his dagger.
Okay. That's
Is it dagger time?
interesting.
Like, I see what you did there, Bork, and I'm going to try and join you.
Bring it with the dagger.
So, I'm going to roll.
I guess you
for-
can't set it on fire by accident, I guess.
I got a 12, so that amounts to not hitting him, I'm assuming.
That pretty much does. Yeah.
Okay, so now that I've ran straight out, I've taken one failed swing at the guy, and immediately my extra action is balling up on the ground.
So you're kind of dropping and hugging your knees to your chest.
Like the swing whiffed, and in that movement, like Pronce recognised he
full
missed and
360 into
rolled into a ball, curled up in full fetal position, like don't hit me on the head kind of thing. Like,
It's like a transformer.
Sure.
so I'm curled up next to the fight now.
Okay.
He thinks he's a rock.
Yeah. I mean, fine. I guess.
That's some good action.
Yeah. Nice turn.
It could have gone really well. Like,
It could have. It didn't really, though, did it?
swing and a miss.
Yeah. Okay. It's Vagan's turn. I don't know quite what to do with him. I could like. That was a weird turn, man. You could have just shot a fireball at him. Like,
That's not the point. It was seeing the opportunity to join a bloody battle
yeah. No.
And
Fair
there
enough.
is blood.
and feel a moment of camaraderie.
There is gore.
Pronce has been useless.
You haven't had a good night,
usually
have you?
my role.
Yeah.
Yeah, we traded places for a change.
Yeah.
We still got time. We might be able to fit in one successful pronsoning.
That dream really
Pronsoning.
There's too much talk of owlbears, far too
Best
focused on
worst
other
sequel
things. I went from a dream where I got to hug a giant owlbear, and like all of a sudden that was just stolen away, like it
It was
wasn't
all
real.
lies. Yeah.
Okay. Vagan is like he's looking down his nose at you a little bit, and he drops the clouds seem to disperse as he's no longer concentrating on that, because that was a bit further away than the other, and he's going to fire a ray of frost at the remaining gnoll. That's a hit because he's got a decent spell attack bonus. He does a gentleman's 3 damage. So this gnoll is looking pretty chilly, but he's not dead. Okay, it's the gnoll's go, and he's. You're prone on the ground, aren't you?
I mean, if Pronce has to die, I think we all accept this.
If he attacks you, I auto crit. Because you went prone on the ground.
I've done what I've done. I stand by it.
Commit. Commit.
Yeah. Okay.
No takesy backsies.
No takesy backsies. So, I think I still need to roll a hit, but like,
just get it over with.
No, he's just got advantage on you. I know what it is I was getting confused. But if you're unconscious and you get attacked, you automatically fail 2 of your 3 death saving throws.
Oh wow!
It makes sense.
Yeah, I was getting confused with that and the critting.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got advantage on you, and he's gonna try and stab at your.
That's better.
Yeah. So that is that's 15 for the first one. Is that a hit?
His armor class is 10.
Your armor class is 10, so yeah, you're hitting me.
And 18 for the second one. So I'm gonna hit you anyway. So you take 4 points of damage. 4. As you're stabbed in the arse cheek with a spear. You went prone. It's like on the outside.
Yeah.
Oh. In the inside. That's good.
Through the booty.
My rump.
My rump.
Okay, we're back to you, Enothe.
I'm gonna shoot him in the fucking head. 17.
That's a hit.
9.
9. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You shoot him in the head, and he's down.
There's no flair to this one. I'm just like, someone other than me could kill someone once.
You did pretty well this round. Well, so did Bork. 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Hearing the thunk.
Yeah, I killed 3. You killed 2.
Frame high five. Getting that on a t-shirt.
Hadouken.
Hadoukens.
Hearing this cry for Hadouken, Pronce hops up and realises his ass is hurt and sort of hops onto like, Hadouken! Oh!
I mean, you are bleeding. You did. It's a full-on stab.
Yeah. So I mean, he's like clutching his ass, and like that perfunctory Hadouken is all he's got in him. And I'm now looking around at the other guys, like, is it over? Are we done? Like,
Vegan, we've rescued your owlbear.
Vegan isn't paying any attention to you. He's run over to the pit, and he's using some vines. He's pulling the owlbear out, which it's young, but it's still pretty big. It's like the size of a large dog.
That's adorable.
And it's sort of like looking up.
Feathers, are you okay? Oh, they took you away. Oh, no, we got you out of there. Those nasty gnolls. Yes.
He's not really paying attention to you at all.
That's fair.
Pronce rubbing his ass, walks over to this, like, because the owlbear's now out, and he's kind of like, this must be the feathers you were talking about, and he kneels down and kind of like pets Feathers a little bit.
Vegan's like, oh, careful.
How receptive is Feathers to...
Feathers nips you on the hand. There's 2 points of damage.
Fair enough.
And
Pronce kind of like gets the look, really looks deeply hurt inside, like, we were meant to be friends.
Feathers isn't a pet.
And he sort of wanders back off to the other guys, now kind of like looking at the hand that's been bitten, rubbing his ass with the other hand. and he's got his staff tucked under an arm so he can do all of this.
Yeah.
I feel I should console Pronce this time, rather than him consoling me.
I walk over to Bork and point my bum in the direction, like, you remember the massage?
Wait, what? You can do a medicine check to just bandage up his arse if you like.
Okay.
There's already a crack in it.
Oh.
I was saying, my equipment, I've got that the enemy banner. I could wrap his butt up.
You previously used that to wrap yourself up.
That's in your gut somewhere.
It left inside you like a bad surgeon.
It's like a little tag that you can... You know when you get a new electronic and you pull out the battery tag thing?
Yeah.
One of those. Pronce is just going to console himself for a moment with these guys.
I'd pat you on the back a little.
We'll I'll look to the other guys to take control here.
We'll work on the owlbear. We'll get a pet out. You can pet him. So later. Good.
Vagan's like, well, I never said he was a pet. I'm just looking after him.
Vagan, it's fine, I understand. You might be able to help us.
Well, you've certainly helped me.
We're looking for the tomb of Grazak. We know it's roughly northeast of where we were when we met you. We don't know exactly where it was.
Oh, yes, at the bottom of the hill.
You know where it is?
But you're in kind of a clearing and he points at the hill is a big fuck-off mountain.
Would you be kind enough to take us there?
Well, yes, I suppose so. Yes, I haven't got anything else to be doing now. And get some food for feathers along the way.
That sounds like a wonderful plan. Should we set up camp? Should we rest here for a while, or do you want to head out now?
Well, these knolls are rather smelly. I think we should go somewhere else.
Okay.
It's still kind of mid-afternoon as well.
Yeah.
You can get some travelling in.
It's worried about Pronce's booty.
Best to walk it off, I think.
Once again, eyes shoot in the direction of the person that is bad-mouthing Pronce, and he points at the nearest plant he recognises and identifies it in an angry way.
Yes, I too know what bushes are.
Glorious.
I think Pronce just keeps rubbing his ass, and he's really like, that's the main focus of this moment, is the ass rubbing.
Fair enough, I guess.
End of episode.
Okay, so I feel like, we'll bring this to a close. So the four of you and Feathers set off through the woods, heading northeast, the mountains looming larger as you go. That's about going to do it for this episode. We'll be back on Thursday the 15th of March with our next one, so be sure to tune in for that. In the meantime, as always, you can get in contact with us on Twitter and Facebook, both of which we are at Pretend With Dice, and you can also email us at pretendingwithdice@outlook.com. If you're listening to us on iTunes, be sure to leave us a rating and review, that all helps. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you all next time.